and welcome to this week's Fundamentals. My name is Thomas and I'm the host of this channel. This week I have a very interesting project for you that I would like to discuss, and this is Storj. So Storj wants to compete with the giants, which is Dropbox, which is Google, which is Microsoft, on cloud storage. So they want to store in the cloud in a decentralized way. What does that mean? It means that there is no central identity as Google or Dropbox or Microsoft that has access to the files that can be hacked. So it's tamper-proof, it is more safe, and it's more secure. There is also a way that you can earn to hand out storage space of your computer to somebody else, and you will get paid per terabyte for that. So that is something that I will discuss as well. So with that said, let's dig into this video. Start of this video by comparing Storj towards the other competitors in the market. So first of all, with the decentralized storage, data is encrypted and stored across multiple locations or nodes that are run by individuals or organizations that can share the extra disk space for free. So me as an individual, I can run a node. A company can also run a node and generate profits from that. A node is more or less giving a computer the power to verify transactions or to borrow out space. That is what a node is. Only the data's owner holds the encryption key. Storage providers cannot access the data. In many cases, the files are also sharded, which is cut in pieces and spread across multiple locations, providing yet another layer of security. So this summarizes what decentralized storage is, cloud storage. Then Filecoin, which is the main competitor. This might be a token that you already know. Filecoin is widely known for having had one of the largest initial coin offerings of all time, raising 257 million in 2017. Nowadays, you see large quantities of money in initial coin offerings. So when the coin gets first sold before the project is live, they sell coins. And with the money that generates, they're able to develop the project even more. And this was 2017. So this was the last bull cycle. And that was a lot of money in that time. So that project already exists, at least 2 bull cycles. Filecoin's pricing is not controlled by any single company. Instead, it is an open market in which anyone can participate. So Filecoin did the same as Ethereum and Bitcoin do. It's a free market towards who pays the highest bid, gets the fastest and the best service. Ethereum gas fees are very high right now, and Bitcoin transactions fees, when popular, also become very high because there is just more transactions, and when there's more transactions, the transactions become more expensive. So the same counts for Filecoin. This is truly decentralized, but it has its benefits and it has its negatives. Although this offers great flexibility, it can make it difficult for organizations working with specific storage budgets. So big organizations have obviously storage budgets and they want to have some certainty. Then you have made safe and the safe network. So what is the biggest difference is that unlike Filecoin and other decentralized storage options, safe network does not use blockchain or any type of public ledger, making it easier to scale the network while eliminating the need to synchronize ledgers data across nodes. So this is really a competitor as Dropbox is, and they don't use blockchain technology just as Dropbox does. But still important to mention as a competitor on the tech side. So then we have SIA, one of the main competitors. The difference between SIA and Storj is that SIA breaks the file into 30 segments, while Storj does that in 80 segments. So the sharding, as we spoke about before, the cut in pieces and spread over the nodes. When it then distributes to different hosts, the software uses Reed-Solomon erasure coding to ensure the redundancy and make it possible to recover a file from only 10 of its segments. So although the segments are, the file is split in 30 segments, with only 10 segments, the SIA already can retrieve your file that you shared. So compared to Filecoin or Safe Network, SIA is more feature-rich with advanced data protections. SIA software is completely open source and includes an API that developers can use when building applications. So with APIs, you can build applications on top of it, meaning that, for example, you create a script or a macro where every file that you create automatically gets uploaded in the cloud without you having to do any manual options. That is practically an API example. Then we go to Storj. Storj is one of SIA's top competitors and delivers similar services, including blockchain storage. Storj is S3 compatible, so this is again the API, with data broken into smaller segments, encrypted and stored across the global network, like SIA. However, as I said earlier, Storj breaks a file into 80 segments, while SIA does it in 30. So with 80 segments, it's more secure. And a customer can use any 30 of those segments to reconstitute the file. So SIA had 30 and you only needed 10 parts. And for Storj, there is 80 segments and you need 30 to restore the file, which is almost half, and SIA is 1/3. They have fixed pricing, so it makes it easier to budget storage costs. So I would say SIA is easier for the average person, and Storj is more focused on big conglomerates and bigger organizations. The exact price depends on the amount of data that the organization stores or downloads. I will get later into the price information. For example, a customer will pay about $55 per month for 1 terabyte of storage and 1 terabyte of downloads. So this is the comparison. Now at least you know the biggest competitors in the market. Maybe you have heard about Filecoin and you can dig deeper into the differences, but this is in general the differences. Then we go to the main page of Storj, which is storj.io, so storj.io. With Storj DCS, Decentralized Cloud Storage, files aren't stored in centralized data centers. Instead, they're encrypted, split into pieces, and distributed on the global cloud network, as we discussed earlier. So secure. Every file is encrypted, split into pieces, and stored on diverse nodes, making data breaches a thing of the past. So indeed, it's a very secure option because it's not centralized. Even if you use the cloud, it's also not centralized. It is cut into pieces. So in order someone to hack the system and to get your data, it's a very complicated process. Then it's private. Default encryption is standard on every file. I'll show you later the interface, and you can see that I have to use my seed phrase to enter the file and to have access. Everything is encrypted before being uploaded. Your data is only in your hands and those who share it, you share it with. So you will get a link. You can share that with your customers or with people that you would like to share it with. And it works the same as Dropbox. It's very relative to how Dropbox works. Available due to our decentralized network of storage nodes, your data is multi-regional by default and always available. So you're not depending on Dropbox being offline. It is just always online. Storj DCS works with tools you already use and deploys in minutes with Drop S3 compatibility. So that's again the API. So you can easily build apps on top of Storj or apps that communicate with Storj, let's say. It is open source and always will be. We take this transparent approach in all we do as a company. So the company wants to provide a lot of transparency. I always like to read that, but you see that in real used cases, the transparency always decreases a bit. So this is something to keep an eye on. Then I want to explain you exactly how it works with uploading the file. So step 1, objects are encrypted. So when you upload a file on Storj, it automatically encrypts all files being uploaded. As you can see further questions, so frequently asked questions. Then after being encrypted, each object is split into pieces that are indistinguishable from any other projects and pieces. So they're unique. Then step 3, the pieces and objects are then individually stored over a global network of storage nodes. So they are spread all over the world. And step 4, when you receive an object, only 29 of the 80 pieces are needed to reconstitute that object. And that's it. Then you have the files, and then it's shared. So this is the interface. I created an account for you guys to understand how it works. Currently, it's just me as a user. I only shared one example, which was 4.29 MB, and I have 50 gigabytes of free storage space, as you can see, that I didn't use. I called it Thomas Test. Then we can go to the objects. The object browsers use site encryption. If you want to use our product with only end-to-end encryption, you may want to skip this feature, but I want to continue. So now, in order to see my data, I have to enter my seed phrase that you get in the beginning. I'm obviously not going to show you what my seed phrase is completely. So I press it here, enter. So here is my file, Thomas Test. Now I have access to it, and now I can also download it if I want and see it. So that is on my own account. From the outside, you have a shareable link. As you can see here, share. I already prepared it for you. This is the shareable link. So this is just a thumbnail from one of my videos. I can see exactly where it's shared. So it's mostly North America, Europe, and even one in Siberia. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think around there should be Siberia. Yeah, and again, this is like the interface of Dropbox. So you can see this, you can download it, and this is that one link that I can share with anyone. So this is regarding being a host, be the decentralized cloud. You can sign up, store data, and get paid. So the average per month is around 20 terabytes. $20 per terabyte in egress bandwidth. Repair egress bandwidth, you get $10 per terabyte. Disk space, $1.50 per terabyte, and audit bandwidth is $10 per terabyte. As the amount of data on the network continues to grow, so will the amount of data stored on the access on each node, which also means your earnings will increase. Below you will see that what a node operator earns and the average after a node is vetted and reliable on the network. Once your node is verified, so it needs to be verified, after a vetting period, you will be compensated for the storage and bandwidth you provide. Every month you meet the requirements, you will be paid in obviously the own storage token. So currently some data, there is almost 72,000 active nodes. There is a capacity of 34 petabyte, which is bigger than terabyte. And there is currently 295 million objects being shared. And that is obviously cut into 24 billion pieces. Here you can see where all the nodes are. They're already all over the world. So if you want to be a host, I myself didn't do it yet, and I'll explain you after. So what you need is one processor core, a minimum of 550 gigabytes of available disk space, a minimum of 2 terabytes of available bandwidth a month, a minimum upstream bandwidth of 5 Mbps, a minimum download bandwidth of 25 Mbps, and you have to keep your node online 24/7. I personally don't want to run my computers 24/7 because that might mean the end of it. So I do some other mining on my computers, but there is no need for access of 24/7. Then we go to the team. So this is the first page actually where I saw that the CEO ends on the bottom, but I also checked the LinkedIn of the CEO, Ben Gollop, which is actually interim CEO, meaning that they're looking for another solution. He will only be here temporary. Then I also checked Kaloyan Rayev, engineering director from Bulgaria. Also not too much experience in the field of softwaring and also not in higher positions. And the same counts for COO John Gleason. So overall, with respect to the team, they don't have a lot of experience. They don't have a lot of leadership experience. And this is their first big blockchain decentralized project. So the team, there is not much known. So I can't say it's a weak team, but they do lack experience in this field, in my opinion. Then let's go to the Twitter. As you can see here, they have around 4,642 tweets, and they have 105,000 followers, which is quite a few. And they mostly inform the followers on webinars. I don't really see updates or improvements. They mostly do the webinars. But again, it's a lot of followers, so it's not a small project, and that is where I mostly look at, and to see if it's still active, and they are, because only 12 minutes ago they shared the nodes. Then we go to CoinGecko. The total supply is 425 million. The circulating supply is now only more or less like 1/4, 1/3 of that, which is 143 million. Storj is currently ranked on 262, so far away from the top 100. That means that this is a bit more risky project. As I said, the team is also a little bit more risky, but high risk, high rewards, as you know. They're already active since the last bull cycle, so they really entered the last bull cycle. They hit a top of almost $3 and they went back down. This top of $3 was reached again by the beginning of this year, so that already gives some confidence in the price of $3. So in my opinion, I think it can reach the $3 again soon. And yes, if you invested in the beginning of this year, you would be already in 240% profit. Then we go to TradingView. This is the longest chart available. We see the same top around $3. And yeah, what I expect from this currency is to hit $5, $10 by the end of this year, purely based on the fact that the project has been growing, the amount of users has been growing. They are obviously able to build in those 3 years that there was a bear market. And currently the project should be evaluated much higher. What I can also see is that this peak was the first peak of the last bull market, and then they came with a peak that went higher, and I expect the same to happen with this peak. And based on that, I believe that $5 until $10 this year should be happening, and long term it could go anywhere. So with that said, this is the end of the video. If you like the content, please like and subscribe and share it with your friends. I also really like to hear from you in the comment section, and I would like to reply on all your questions. Have a nice weekend, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.